Yankees lose. Da 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 da. Yankees lose. Da 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 da. Yankees lose. The Yankees lose to the Baltimore Orioles. Kevin, how are we feeling, baby?
Come on, you got to fire me up after that one, man.
On.
Zach didn't tell me what that intro was going to be, but let me tell you, we coordinated that pretty well. Man, free baseball, Orioles win, Yankees lose. All the Infinity Stones, all the Infinity Stones getting filled up right there. What do you say about that?
All the Infinity Stones. And Kevin, real quick, I want to point out my shirt. I decided to go grab my serotonin shirt. It says serotonin, the chemical that makes you happy, and underneath it, it lists the things that make you happy. It says boosters are vitamin D, vitamin B, protein, meditation, and exercise, but they forgot something, Kevin. The biggest serotonin boost in all of mankind. Beating the New York Yankees. How about that? How about them O's, Kevin? How about them O's?
Man, was it a pretty win? No. Was it a ugly win? Yeah. But you know what? They got the job done. They evened the series, ripped the Yankees' hearts out. And I think what everybody is talking about right now, or at least one of the things that people are talking about, how much did the Orioles win by tonight, Zach?
One. A singular run.
Do you know what happened in that seventh inning? Do you know what ended up happening? The Yankees hit Gunnar Henderson.
There was a little childish actions happening.
They hit Gunnar Henderson, put Gunnar Henderson on base. Little intentional stuff going on, it looked like there, right? And then Ryan Mountcastle brings them around. And guess what? The Yankees would have won without extra innings if they decided not to do that, probably, right? I know we're not going to speak in absolutes, but you know what? One-run game. What happens sometimes? You know, let's raise our hands, Zach. Who likes complimentary things? The Yankees gave the Orioles a nice little complimentary run and looked like the fool coming out of that game. So, absolute cinema.
I mean, Kevin, it always feels weird that Cade Povich versus Garrett Cole started this game. That feels like decades ago right now is what happens. I mean, there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. But, Kevin, before we get into that, I do have to if you're not taking shots of tequila, I mean spicy water. If you're not taking spicy water, baby, what are you doing? Brad, talk to him. I'm doing it with this on. How can you not be romantic about baseball, baby? Cheers, everyone. Baltimore Orioles get the win. Taste like victory, baby.
And you know what? I'll do my prop of the game here. This one is simple, Zach. You know, it wasn't a pretty win, as I mentioned, but you know what? Do you know what the Orioles are a team of? Zach, you know what they are?
What are they? Dogs.
This,
baby.
And insert whatever Yankee player here, Trevino, if you want to, right? You could say this is Trevino's
shout out right here. Shout out, Jose.
This is Adley teaching Trevino how to throw. How about that?
And okay, is that what? Do you have anything that else you need to?
No, I mean.
Okay, I just wanted to. I didn't want to go off on a rant if you were like still.
No. Take the floor. Here you go. Take the floor.
Something we've all, and I've been one of them. We talked about the Orioles holding runners. And that includes Adley Rutschman. There have even been times where you felt like the pitcher was quick to the plate and Adley's dirt and stuff. We've seen plenty of balls end up in the outfield. When the brights were the lightest. Oh. When the lights were the brightest, Kevin. Tying run on first base. Cabrera was 8 for 8 on stolen bases. 8 for 8. Hadn't been caught. Not Adley Rutschman, baby. Missile. Takes him out, and at that point, you just knew. One thing, I'm going to get into this because I want to just
get all the bad vibes out, but it would not be right of me to let this go. It would not be right of me to let this go. Last night I came on here, and for the first time ever, I raved about the umpiring. Raved about it. Last night, that box was as consistent, as clear cut as it gets. This was by far, Kevin, by far the worst umpiring we've had this season. By far, and it wasn't close. The Yankee, and here's the one thing: if you're inconsistent, you're inconsistent. Hell, but it was the fact that he was consistent for both teams. He was giving the Yankees the edge. He was giving the Yankees the corner, a little bit off the corner. And then 3 or 4 times you saw the Orioles pitchers paint the corner. Absolutely in the strike zone. Nothing. Not a thing called a ball. It was annoying all night. Doesn't matter, though. Doesn't matter. It was brutal. It was brutal, to say the least. That was one of the just most one-sided umpirings I've ever seen. And I doubt he had money on the Yankees. I doubt he's a Yankees fan. I've seen stuff about that. That just happened to be one of the worst umpiring games I've seen from a home plate ump, just on consistently giving one team one call and the other team the other.
Well, and also you have no warnings after everything, and like,
Kevin, you're gonna get me on another tangent. You're gonna get me on another.
Where's some? Can we use some common sense here, please? And you know, something that goes on. But I think this comment from Matt sums this. I just want to get this comment in here. There were negatives to this game. We're not going to say this was the perfect game. We'll talk about some of the things that went wrong. But on the positive note, it was a heavyweight fight. The O's came out on top, beating their whole roster. It's a big win, right? Wasn't a perfect win. There were ugly parts of this game for the Orioles that we'll talk about. But look, we're hype here and we're happy because every game like this matters. And to do it in the way that they did, they could have easily folded. But what does this team not do, Zach?
They don't fold. They don't quit.
They're the comeback cardiac kids. Well, in this case, they kind of gave up the lead. So I guess it was kind of the opposite a little bit. But they still were able to come out on top and get the win. We have a couple of comments to get to here. Strictly goated.
Strictly goated.
What a game. What a game. And then we have Tim Malarkey checking in.
Oh, Tim.
My man, Tim. Orioles mother effing magic, baby. Tim the man. Oh, I love it.
Oh. So I guess
real quick, Kevin. So for those of you who do not know, so obviously no one in here but Kevin would. I texted Kevin. I said, "Hey, can you set up the stream? I gotta go make the thumbnail. And usually I have thumbnails, especially for most games, done before the 9th inning. I have game just done before the 9th inning. At the end of the 9th inning, as it went into extras, I'm superstitious, and I was a little negative. Tonight. So I started making a thumbnail that in all caps read "horrific loss." And I was sitting there and I started making the thumbnail, and first guy gets out. Cowser pops up. I'm like, yep, horrible loss. I'm sitting there. My brother's next to me. I'm like, horrible loss. I just kept saying that. Then Cedric Mullins single. Now, my superstitious self, I'm like, I have to still make the horrible loss. So I'm slowly cutting out players, editing, just hoping that was the reason we would say. So the entire time I was slowly putting together a terrible, horrific loss thumbnail, hoping I wouldn't have to use it. And that's why we were a little late.
Wow. Well, so
and
I
speaking
guess
of thumbnails, we have brand new videos out today. Ryan Ripken show back tomorrow night.
So we have videos
bunch.
out. Yeah, so videos out on Jackson Holliday's injury if you want some updates. And we had Yoni Rosenblatt, who is a sports performance doctor, is very in tune with, of course, the elbow, but the entire body. So be sure to check out that. Also, right as Kyle Bradish, that injury news, which we will talk about later in the stream, came out. We dropped a video, Yoni, talking about timelines, best case, worst case, and all that. So be sure to check those out. 2 things. Well, no, 3 actually. Laura, like, subscribe, become a member, everything.
Wait.
I know. I'm gonna do it. Just hold on. Yeah, like, subscribe, become a member. Thank you, Laura, for that. This is from you didn't know this happens. You weren't here. That's right.
No.
someone made a YouTube profile of me eating the potatoes.
Kevin,
I
that's how
cannot
you know
do
we-
that.
That's how
Huh?
you know, like that's how you know we're doing well. If people are making YouTube accounts for you eating potatoes, that means that you had a great show.
Yeah,
That was
it
that
did.
memorable.
So shout out. I don't know who's behind this account, but shout out to you. Tony got robbed, by the way.
All right, let's
Could
we'll
have
get
cleared
to
the
this real
no.
quick.
Okay,
We'll
well,
get to this
hold
real
on.
quick.
Yes, I'm gonna go get Banksy because that's the at home $20. So thank you, C Money. Love the gunner, no sell, hit by pitch. Hashtag MVP. Hashtag silly chicken. Sorry, Zach. You get into. You're gonna talk about Tony, and I will go get Banksy. So
Okay, guys, I'm just going to be real with you. In the 9th inning, after the Baltimore Orioles had the bases loaded, Anthony Santander rocket. Actually, I'll while I'm talking real quick, I'm going to pull up the Baseball Savant to see the stat cast on that one because it was an absolute, pardon my French, piss missile. But Alex Verdugo, talk about just an incredible catch. And then the next inning, Anthony Volpe on that hit and run pop up that had like 7 seconds of hang time. As soon as those two things happened back to back, I tweeted it out. You kind of looked at the game and you're like, this is at least going to extras. You just had a feeling as our number one attraction, Banksy is back, baby. I just said Banksy is back, baby. Sabenya. Only 3 legs. Only 3 legs. That's all he needs to be a dog. He might be a cat with 3 legs, but don't get it wrong. Banksy is a dog. Where was it? Yeah. So let's talk about Anthony Santander. That hit or robbed hit by Verdugo was 106.1 miles per hour. Let me see. Had a 540 expected average. So, I mean, come on. Oh my God, tripod. That's an incredible nickname.
That's what they're called. They're called tripods. You didn't know that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a thing because we do. Okay.
Yeah. Tripod, 3 legs. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. All right. So let's kind of break down the game a little bit. You know, we've gotten our excitement out. But let's start all the way back. All the way back to the beginning of this game. And before we get into that, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. We do this every day after every game, but more importantly, every Monday and Thursday, we have live shows with the entire crew in the studio. We a lot more scheduled and on topic. We try a lot of cool guests. We've had pretty much all the top ESPN analysts, the Jeff Passons, Buster Olneys, Tim Kirchens. It's just been a great time there. We've had a bunch of Orioles come on the show. A lot of they all get bumps. We Colton Cowser, Jordan Westberg, you name it. We've pretty much had them on. So it's a lot of fun. We'd really hope you guys come and join us. But like and subscribe if you enjoy it.
Yeah, and also just we're teasing potentially with the Ryan Ripken rebranding right now that is going on. This show, which we are still in the final stages of coming up with a name for it. I think we are
final as it gets.
Yeah, we are very close. We are literally 1 letter away from
literally one letter.
We are going to potentially, maybe this show might be getting its own channel under the Ryan Ripken Show media umbrella. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. If that
appreciate you, British Raven. Absolute.
Awesome.
I love it. British Raven. Talk about someone. I'm giving him a hand because talk about someone who even over across the pond, still tuning in, even in the early hours out there. Really appreciate it.
I'm looking through these banks. I'm looking through these Banksy comments. Yeah, I looked as miserable as I was in the 9th. Yeah.
But let's
Casey, thanks.
Let's get into the game a little bit. I got to give it to him. I got to give it to him.
Are we doing one up, one down?
Yeah.
Or is this different?
Yeah, I just feel like it's so like, yes, let's do 1 up, 1 down. My 1 down, the umpiring tonight. Just straight up. My one up is going to be different. I'm going to say Cade Povich, and here's why. I don't think I've ever seen a guy just so blatantly unable to find the strike zone, but just also found ways to just completely get out of it every time. I mean, obviously he gives up the one run in the first, nothing after that. Cade Povich just I've seen tweets like this. I actually got a text from my friend about he said if Cade Povich finds a way to cut down on the walks, the league better be scared. The league better be scared. And in the comments, give us your one up, one down. If you're new here, one up, one down. It's one good thing you saw tonight and one bad thing. So my down is going to be the umpiring, home plate specifically. And then, got to bring it up every time we see it.
Mike stole one of mine. Mike stole one of mine. Good
Brian
one, Mike.
Baker,
Good one, Mike.
Just absolutely. But Cade Povich was one of those guys tonight where it felt like there were times where I think he threw at one point 10 of 11 pitches were balls. And you're like, man, he cannot figure this out. Like what's going on? But he did each time. I mean, even 5 walks, you sat there and you're like, how do they only have one hit? Like it was awesome to see. If Cade Povich, man, if he figures out that control, and it's mostly control the curveball, his best pitch. If he figures that out, man, he's going to be so much fun to watch. He's so deceptive. And speaking of that, Ryan did a full breakdown, posted a few days ago. You can go check that out, of breaking down Cade Povich and how he is so deceptive. 2-0 heater by Soto, was looking for it. His decept. Yeah. And that's what, so Ryan breaks down how his windup impacts hitters, because Cade only throws 93. He tops out at pretty much 93. Maybe he'll touch 94. Ryan did an awesome breakdown on how he fools hitters with his deception. So go check that out. But it was one of those, I'm going to call it a gritty start from Cade. So that's my one up, one down. Let's hear yours.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know how one up, one down initially started, Zach, but it used to be 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah.
In the very early stages, and then I'm like, okay, this is way too much every game. I'm gonna go 3 up, 3 down though, because this game just had a little bit of literally everything. So we're gonna start with the ups first. I've seen it a bunch in the comments. I'll try to pull up as many as I can here about it, but Cedric Mullins is one of my one-ups here. Someone that has just, last 2-3 weeks has been extremely clutch. Even him finding a groove, didn't start immediately for him, but he started to find a little bit of a groove. And although he's not necessarily all the way back yet, he is certainly in the right direction, trending in that right direction. So just a bunch of love for Cedric right now. I know Ryan was very vocal and has been very vocal about everything that's going on with Cedric right now, and how much of a struggle it was for him to be able to go through everything and then figure it out. But just so many comments about Cedric Mullins and everything that he's able to do. Another one for me, how about Ramon Urias continuing, or at least getting back into the Roman Empire, doing what
won the game. I mean, his home run's massive. Then he gets the double. Yeah, it doesn't end up doing anything. He doesn't come around to score, but just all game, Ramon puts together some great at bats. So I love that one. Love that. I was considering him as well. But
and then my third one is Brian Baker. The do we call this a Linsanity run? Do we call it that?
Is it a Linsanity run if it never ends though? We have to ask ourselves.
Oh, that's true. That's
we'll have
true.
To wait. We'll have to wait.
Maybe just an insanity run in the best way that just never ends.
Love it, Kevin.
So,
love it.
There we go. So now let's do the downs. One, like a lot of people, the O'Hearn Hayes swap in the clutch there. I personally didn't really get that one. I get the whole O'Hearn lefty thing, but O'Hearn
Kevin, we've had Ryan O'Hearn on this show, and he was even joking about the fact he can't hit lefties.
No,
Like,
I know, I get it. Like
you
you
know-
look at it in a vacuum, and you're like, yes, O'Hearn has really struggled against lefties, but he had already been mashing in this game. I get, wanting to get Hayes up there, but I would have probably kept O'Hearn in and give him the shot. Like, I get that it hasn't been great for him against lefties, but I would have rewarded him for the game that he had. But again, I'm not the manager of the Orioles, so I can't make that call. The walks also were a big down for me. Obviously, you're giving the Yankees more opportunities. The Orioles with 9 walks in this game total. Povich with 5, and then the relievers having 4. So
I thought you meant we drew 9 walks, and I was like, did I miss part of the game? I was like,
No.
When did we start drawing walks? I was like, okay, yes, but no. Actually, the Orioles drew 3, so not 9. But yes, they gave up 9 walks.
Yep. Walks were definitely not a great part of that for them. And then I guess just them blowing the lead is umpiring,
say
I guess
umpire.
is
say the umpire.
Right.
Say the umpire, baby.
Umpire is the down there as well.
Yeah. Dude,
I do if you wanted to say Kimbrel for blowing the save, I understand, but I think that the pitches he was throwing, it was a weird Kimbrel outing. Zach, would you classify it as weird?
Yeah, so they had what? They had the blooper by Volpe.
Yeah.
Then you had what was that? Oh no, it was the double by Volpe, not the blooper.
Double, yes.
You had the double. Then you had that weird, man. That should have never happened. Volpe takes off on the hit and run pop up. Volpe doesn't know it's in the air, is then standing on third base looking at the third base coach who's yelling at him to run back. And he's like, what? That should have been. As soon as he was safe on that, I literally was like, this game's getting tied. I was like, you just don't get away with that. Yeah, Kimbrel blew the save. But, I mean, we won. Like, he hadn't given up an earned run in, I think it was 11 straight going into tonight. Does it suck? Yeah. The Orioles won. If he's got to blow saves and the Orioles still win, I'd rather him do that than blow saves and the Orioles lose. So, hell, it happens, especially when you're going to go up against in the 9th Volpe, Soto, and Stanton, I wanted to say, and Judge. But, and something I want to talk about, and this is about Craig Kimbrel. That guy's built for these moments, man. Yeah, rolling with rock, 15 straight. This guy's built for these moments. He talked about today. They were talking about it on the stream, on the broadcast. He was talking to Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown asked him about who he wanted to face and what his high leverage thing was. And he said, I want to face Aaron Judge with the game on the line. And Kevin Brown said, well, is that why you still do this? Is this, what you like about closing? And, do you still get excited for these moments when the game's on the line and you're facing their best player? And Kimbrel looked at him and said, if I didn't get excited, if I didn't get up trying to, go out there and want to be in the biggest situations, I wouldn't do this anymore. This guy, give him hate, give him whatever you want. This is a Hall of Famer. This is one of the best closing pitchers that has ever stepped foot on this earth. I mean, you don't see it. Yeah, he's at the latter part of his career. He's not what he used to be. I accept that, and I'm not going to argue that. But he's a damn good pitcher when he's on. So I'm not going to give him that. I get fired up right now. I'm so fired up right now. I'm not sleeping. I'm telling you right now, I'm not sleeping.
You know what? This is the duality and the incredible emotions that come with sports. Imagine if the Orioles had lost this game, what the vibes would be. Obviously, we try here on this post-game show.
I was going to cry.
Yeah, that's content. Zach Bollinger crying live on stream. That's content. But again, it's the ups and downs, right? Zach making a loss thumbnail, repeating that it's a horrible loss, and then now here we are with I think one of the most electric intros the show has ever had, and making it happen that way. Now we got a couple of more donos, Zach. You want to roll through those real quick? We got Tim coming back in. Shout out, Tim.
Yep.
Possible hot take, Adley Mateo is the only catcher second base combo I trust to make that play. It was textbook and perfect. There's been so much about Adley's arm over the course of his career and just like where it is. That was quite literally, I mean, I think Tim puts it perfectly, quite the textbook play. Like just unbelievable.
That was a moment where that's why I was so mad when Trevino got the walk after he did strike out because he struck out. That it just felt like as soon as they got that should have been the game. Like that should have been the game. So yeah, Tim, absolutely appreciate my man. And then Scott.
Shout out you, Scott.
Appreciate you, Scott. You said up Adley's quick action at the plate to get the bouncer and at home. Yep, tag out the runner, one down. Cano's pitching with runners on base. Yeah, so he's talking about it was super weird because right before Judge or Stanton, man, I'm just convincing myself. I'm so used to hearing about Yankees fans complain about Judge that he's just – I feel like that's their only player right now. But let me get back on track. Leading up to Stanton's 3-run jack was so weird because Perez he should have gotten 2 outs. Like he got a ground ball up the middle that neither Jorge or Gunnar, a little miscommunication there, went for. They got the dribbler that, like Scott saying, probably that's Adley's ball. Adley didn't get up quick enough. Perez goes, grabs it, bobbles it a little, safe. So then Stanton comes up, and we all know how that worked out. 3-run bomb. Yeah, that's just one of those unlucky ones. That was just one of those, like, you look at the scoreboard, and if you just scoreboard watch the 2 singles, and you're like, ugh, okay, what happened there? But it really was just tough scene. We say Perez should have gotten 2 outs, but in my opinion, he shouldn't have gone back out there. He's never been great over an inning break. Yeah, but I think where the bullpen is just right now, they're letting people go. They needed the bullpen to come in, and I think they talked about it earlier today on the broadcast, and it's what would have made this loss if it was suck even more. The Orioles unloaded the tank. Like tomorrow, it's Cole Irvin?
Yeah.
Cole, I'm sorry, brother. You might be pitching 140. You got to go 7 innings.
Got to go at least 7. At least 7.
I'm so sorry, Cole, but you have to. This is.
Yeah, they might have to get a little taxi for us to go to New York, Zach, and have us in that bullpen so that we're ready to throw.
Kevin, you know how high my vibes are right now? Just how insanely high they are. This person being behind screen doesn't even faze me. This person being behind not even the Rocco DeSangro can pull down my vibes. Rocco, how are we feeling, baby?
Here to pull down your vibes, man. But it is impossible after a win like that. That was unbelievable. I see the title is Orioles beat the Yankees in an instant classic. Felt like a postseason game, man. Just the back and forth, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride. I hope everyone was buckled in for that because it was bumpy, but it's a big win. And I know, like we said yesterday, nothing's going to be won in June, but it sure did feel like it. That was a big, grinded out, gutted out win for the Birds, and they're feeling good, I'm sure, heading into Game 3.
Feeling great, and love this. Going to extras actually did mean that the Yankees for the second straight day had used Clay Holmes. I doubt he's available tomorrow. And for the second straight day, they've gotten runs off him. Obviously, the first one in the 10th is going to be unearned with the automatic runner at second, but actually, no, both would end up being unearned because it's Trevino. Shout out Jose Trevino for what's going on there. Hold on. Did Jose Trevino, has this always been a thing? Like it started Sunday Night Baseball when they stole 9 on him, but I didn't think it was like nothing was close.
Well, this is one of the most controversial topics in baseball, right? Who is stealing the base on? Is it on the pitcher or the catcher?
This one, okay, I'll give it to you. With the Orioles, there's a lot on the pitcher. Because we've seen they're just guys that we know don't hold runners. Like Kimbrel never holds runners. Like they're guys, Cano is slow to the plate. We have a lot of guys that are slow to the plate. With Trevino, they're throwing pitch outs up there and slide step and pitch outs, and he's getting beat on nowhere close. That's where my thing is. And it's almost like we saw with Adley for a little bit, but they wouldn't even test Adley like this. I mean, this is literally, they were saying on screen, this is, you first move, you're going against him. So absolutely crazy.
Unreal. Yeah, and I know that, I see in the comments it's all the karma for kicking Kowser's bat back at him after he got hit. Kowser slammed his bat down after he got hit, and then it rolled in the direction of Trevino, and then he kicked it back at him like Kowser intentionally meant to.
And then it
do
looked
that.
like he got up in Kowser's face, and Kowser was Kowser didn't back down. He was just like, I'm not no, we're good. And then he just walked to first. I don't think he was trying to incite anything. It was just a case of that. I'm also getting roasted for my sport coat right now at 11 p.m. at night. But
did you just get off sports?
I just got off doing sports exactly. I just took the tie off. I got the sport coat rocking. But has anyone heard from Jason Benowitz? I think he's on his way to New York to try to just find two pitchers from tonight's game and just have a little bit of a word with them.
Yeah. So the Orioles, wait, let me see. How many stolen bases did they end up getting tonight? Was it 4? No. Yeah, so it was 4. It was 4. 2 from Henderson, 2 from Mullins. This game, man. This freaking game, this freaking team. That's just all I can say right now is this team, because it felt so horrible. It felt so horrible when the Yankees came back. There was no way I thought the Orioles were winning this game after they come back, tie it, and you're like, ugh.
Does he do that all the time, Kevin?
Just leave. Yeah.
He just disappears.
Yeah,
just
he
like
really
Houdini,
does.
disappearing act, gone, just like that. It's I wish I could just go bring him back. I'm going to try that, honestly. We have to.
Oh. Hey, and I love weed. Wait till my guard's coming to town. That's another one. That's what top 3 teams in the AL. So that should be another great series. But I just if we're just going to be real about this game, this was one of those where so many people are talking about it felt like a playoff game, and it did. It did. Just everything, the atmosphere.
It really did.
And it's just so much about it. That's one of those games that we're going to look back on. And you just say to yourself, holy crap, they pulled that one out, because it started at the end. It looked a little tough. As soon as Verdugo makes that stud play in center field, then I'll give it.
Bring Kevin back. Oh, I was just seconds off. I was trying to, Kev, what? Sorry, continue, Zach. And then we have to address this. And then we have to address Lucas.
Yeah, I was going to say we have to. Drago thinks he actually has to wear a blazer to prom. Is the
Best comment we've got. Appreciate you.
Joke's on you, Lucas. I didn't go to prom. I did, but I was a huge loser there.
Let's talk about this. Actually. Okay, do we think Judge will have made that play? No, he wouldn't have. I mean, maybe with his height, but he does not. Verdugo's a very, very, very good center fielder, very good outfielder, period. And that's just one of those plays that Verdugo has kind of just made throughout his career, no matter where he is. So it is one of those weird things where if Judge is in center field, that's probably a 3-run double. It is one of those funny things. But, Verdugo, you do have to – in the moment it was tough, but you were you tipped your cap because you're damn, that was a great play. I yelled out a lot of expletives when he caught that. And then I was I think I was even more mad because I was you can't even be upset. That was just such a damn good play. And then he comes back up as the winning run in the 9th. And I'm not going to lie, I was baseball, baby. I was baseball. If he hits it out, he hits it out.
Okay. What are you waffling about, Rocco?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, I was just, what am I waffling about? What a comment by that guy. I hope he watches these post-game streams. For context, somebody called me a waffler. And
he called all of us a waffler. He called you.
Well, he called me the biggest waffler. I'm the biggest waffler. And I don't really like that word. So I'm whatever, man. But it was because I went back and forth on if the AL East is a 2-team race. I was like, I don't want to be wrong, blah, 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 this and that. But, like, you know, it is what it is.
Damn, this is such a cool moment. Actually, God. Fuck. Damn.
Okay, were you about what are you talking? What did you want to ask me, Rocco? Something about Lucas?
Oh, no, I was just asking, like, why you just randomly leave without telling you. Like, you Irish goodbye multiple
This is
times.
thank you, because I said the exact same thing, and I was the only one in the chat. No, you knew it also, Rocco.
I knew it too, but I
didn't
wasn't
know
going to tell
anything.
anyone.
I didn't
Okay.
know anything.
Well, the reason I leave is because my computer overheats and I get blurry and
That's fair.
stuff, so I have to reset it.
What I was waffling about, though, Kevin, what I was just real quick was the fact that, like, this game's in the Bronx, obviously. This series is in the Bronx. Like, leading up to the All-Star break, I don't think you can have a better series than O's Yankees at Camden Yards Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That place is going to be just absolute scenes. Honestly,
you thought that Philly series was crazy? I can't even imagine.
We're not, Josh. I'll tell you right now, I'm not sleeping.
Phillies fans want to, knock the O's like, oh yeah, we sold out the stadium, this and that. It's, you know what? It is what it is. It's like an hour and a half, whatever, hour 45 drive from Citizens Bank Park, if that. This series, I expect to see, like, I don't want to put a number on it orange-wise. See, I'm waffling again. But I want to see majority O's fans there. You know, the Yankees fans are everywhere. They're going to travel as well. There's probably multiple here in Baltimore, but like that is a game where O's fans need to show up and show out, because you talk about like series of the year, that could very well be it, even though it's right before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it feels like, not that. I mean, everybody obviously talks about Boston and New York and, that being the rivalry and everything, but this has some juice to it, man. Like, you got drama, crazy games, extras, like, whether you're a fan of the Orioles or the Yankees, we've had two pretty incredible games. So, okay. Rocco's phone is dinging. Zach is watching the video.
Not mine. Not me.
No,
it was you. You betrayed me this time. Usually it is you, Rocco, though. You can't even.
Dude, also, like, shout out to British Raven, as always.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say,
5
I'll see you, Rob. Absolutely. Trying to get to bed before 5 a.m., so he's got 10 minutes. Appreciate you, British Raven.
All right. We can play a little game in the chat. Where are your vibes level right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Where's your vibe scale at? Are you over the moon excited? Are there some negatives that are bringing you down a little bit? Are you not satisfied? What's your vibe scale on a scale of 1 to 10? I think Zach is at a 50,000, but
maybe lower, or maybe higher.
Yeah, maybe
Zach
higher.
Zach would be at Pickles or Fed Hill right now if he could. I'm surprised he's not on.
Yeah, the Canton.
Shout out Raymond. Shout out Raymond.
Hey,
what's up, Raymond?
What's up?
Where are you, Rocco? Where's your vibe level?
I'm just vibing. I'm vibing.
You're not gonna give a number? You're just vibing?
No. I'm just vibing in my own way right now.
You're just vibing. I'm gonna give it a 9.36287.
Yeah.
Is that specific enough?
Rocco is always vibing. That's so true.
That's my guy.
That is.
Shout out to Ramey.
So I do want to say, because I feel like I don't really want to, if I'm being honest, I don't want to even talk about the injuries right now because of where vibes are. I feel like that's just something. If you guys want to hear our opinions, we first go watch the YouTube video we dropped earlier today. We went with Dr. Yoni Rosenblatt and talked about really the timeline for Kyle Bradish and what will happen after surgery, all of that. And then we're going to go into everyone on the show's reactions tomorrow to everything. But if I'm being honest, we kind of planned on talking about it tonight at some point, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't feel right.
No,
like
we have to talk about it at some point. We don't have to talk about it right now, but
you don't, Kevin. Well, at this point, we might as well just talk about it. We're already talking about it.
Well, who you were the one that brought it up, by the
Yeah, I
way.
was bringing up how we weren't going to talk about it, but now we're talking about it. Like now we've actively started.
Let's make sure we've covered all the bases from the game first, and then we can do the Bradish thing, and then we can bring the vibes back up to end the show. How about that?
Okay. So have we covered
we covered? O'Hearn was mashing. Yeah, from your 7, 8, 9 guys, you get 2 for 5, 2 for 5, 2 for 5 between Mateo, Mullins, and Arias. That's clutch hitting right there, and especially with Mullins doing his thing.
Is it Ed asks who is our most trustworthy reliever right now? Is it Jacob Webb?
What were they calling him on the broadcast? All day or everyday Webb?
Yeah, everyday
so
Webb.
Much?
He's pitched in literally almost half the games. And another guy, man, Keegan Aiken. Talk about a dog the past few outings. Absolute dog. So 2 guys that I kind of trust those 2 right now. I love it. Who would have saw it coming? Brian Baker, baby. Brian Baker.
Absolutely love it.
Another thing I want to talk about is
guys you wouldn't want to see in a brawl. I feel like Brian Baker would go crazy on somebody if there was like an all-out brawl on the field.
Didn't something happen with him? Am I remembering wrong?
Maybe. He used to do the slot. He would shuffle off of
Moonwalk.
do the moonwalk off the mound, and then that got him into some trouble when he wasn't doing well. A guy I want to bring up though. Did it not feel like, especially if you're watching this, if you were in Orioles Twitter 3-4 years ago, did it not feel like Jahmai Jones was about to end this thing? Like Jahmai Jones, Orioles Twitter legend. Talk about the dark days of the rebuild when every single Rock Kabako tweet, man, I remember the days. Underneath it was all announced Jahmai Jones is coming to the majors. Announced Jahmai Jones.
Dude, that was Orioles Twitter 3 to 4 years ago. That was Orioles Twitter's Jackson Holiday 3 to 4 years ago when he got called up.
Dude, it was literally on the same level as Jackson Holiday. It was every single post of anything was announced Jahmai Jones. I mean, so every time he comes up, he gets out, and I just, part of my heart, I'm like, you're still helping us, Jahmai. Like I always knew you would. So
okay, here we go. Yeah, this is what it was.
Yeah, he and Teoscar. I was gonna say I knew it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like it was like a train of being held back. It was like everybody was holding the other person back. So anything else, guys, on the game?
Right, Jahmai Jones literally saw so many people post once an Oriole, always an Oriole.
That was like with the Ravens when James Prochet fumbled that ball is Brown, and everyone's like, James Prochet, Raven forever.
Helping him win games.
Yeah. Speaking of,
during all the call up Jahmai, he was a Ryan Ripken teammate.
What a legend.
Well, good thing we didn't do a breakdown on him, or else that could have not gone great.
How do you guys both, and in the chat, how does everyone feel about the way the O's, especially Gunnar Henderson at 22 years old, handled everything tonight?
Loved it.
Because that same. I think it was just like, doesn't bother him. Obviously, like deep down, probably ticked him off. You're getting hit right between the numbers, first pitch, like of that at bat. That's enough to pick anyone off.
And it was not getting hit in the meaty part. It got hit.
That to me was without a doubt we're going to go out and hit your best player because our best player got hit the night before in the hand. That's what that was. The second one to Kowser, I don't think that was on purpose at all. And what was it, a one-run game when that happened?
Yeah.
And they had a chance to come back and tie it, and they did. Yeah.
You could see immediately their pitcher. Actually, it's Ferguson who's hit two Orioles already this year. He's just as wild as a come. No, he was trying to throw an inside fastball.
O'Hearn and Grayson were ready to throw down. Did you see Grayson was just like, he was like,
I got to pull it up. Yeah,
pull up the facial expression when Gunnar got hit from Grayson.
I'll tell you that text is
someone needs to start it. Someone needs to start, if there isn't already, a Grayson reaction face thread on Twitter. Like it needs to happen. But I mean, look, while you're pulling that up, Zach, Gunnar, he kept his own composure, and I think with that, he kept the team's composure too. And I think that went a long way in terms of the Orioles winning this game. Like, obviously, were they pissed about it? Yeah, right. And obviously, once Kowser got hit, it kind of was the same thing. But they kept their composure. Oh yeah, look at this. He's like, are you serious? Are you actually? Are you serious?
I'm telling you, you know what that face is? That's the face of he is staring at the other dugout, waiting for the first person to step on that field. He's like, he's staring at him going, I promise one of you step out on the field and we're all clearing this bench. He was pissed. But Rocco, to answer your question, it almost felt like the passing of the big brother torch. It almost felt like, hey, if you're that self-conscious, if you're that worried about us, that you're gonna put on Gunnar Henderson in front of Adley Rutschman in front of the top of the lineup, like that's just maybe they're trying to prove a point. I don't know. Like you can just tell there was something off. The Orioles. I like how Kevin Brown put it. When teams don't react to something, you can tell, are they rolling over or do they genuinely not care and they have that confidence? And he said the Orioles have that confidence, that swagger about them where they're sitting there and they're like, do you know how stupid it is to put Gunnar Henderson on base? Like, they're like, are you stupid? The Yankees thought they're all big tough guy, like, oh, we just hit your best player. Gunnar brushes it off, takes first base, and then scores another run that ended up completely changing the game.
It lost Yankees the game. It literally lost them the game. Like, again, can you speak in absolutes of like, would the game have been the same if Gunnar wasn't put on base? Like, obviously, maybe something different happens, but if you want to look at it from the way that they would have won this game, 5-4, if they didn't put Gunnar on base there, like they were trying to act tough. They were trying to get quote unquote revenge for the Judge thing. And
did you see Garrett?
I saw that. Face? Yeah, I saw that. He was like, no, but it lost in the game.
What we were saying is, I wanted to address this with Michael saying Judge was a 1-2 count in a 1-run game. We're not saying that the O's did it on purpose. I don't see Albert Suarez ever going out and trying to hit anyone intentionally. Now, do you want to go up and in and back Judge off the plate a little bit? Yeah, that's strategic. Was he trying to hit the guy? Absolutely not. But like, that's when the Yankees, they're like, oh yeah, we're ticked off. 2 of our guys got hit. The O's like to throw up and in, this and that, the other thing. And then that happens. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? So maturity from Gunnar Henderson, because he could have easily gotten ticked off. I would not want to mess with that guy if he's angry. Well, we don't really know what that looks like him at his angriest, obviously, but that could have gone a whole different direction. But it just goes back to not only that, but the guy just wants to win games. And another point I'll bring up before I shut up takes me back to one of my favorite Gunnar Henderson moments of his career. When he could have hit for the cycle, all he needed was a single last season, and he went for 2 because he just loves playing baseball. He loves the game. He wants to win so bad. And he is a top-of-the-line competitor. And that's why this fan base loves him so much. Obviously, it helps that he's a freaking superstar. But, look at the way he plays the game. He plays it the right way. He plays it the way people love to watch. And it's like you can't ask for more from a guy that plays his heart out, just goes out there every single game and is going to give you 110%. I mean, the walks, getting walked, he hates that. Obviously, it helps when he gets on base, but he wants to hit. He wants to help this team win, and he wants to do it in any way possible.
Yeah, and my favorite part about that story you just brought up, when Gunnar easily could have just stayed at first. It was a blowout game. It's not like the Orioles needed a run. It's not like, oh, you have to go get into scoring position. He went out there and he hustled it out to second, and it was a close play at second. Like, this was not like, oh, it's in the gap. Like, oh, like he hustled it out. It was stopped before it got in the gap. And my favorite part was the quote afterwards. And they asked him, they said, why, like, all your teammates are pissed at you. Like, you literally had a cycle. Like, what are you doing? And he said, if you play the game the right way, baseball will reward you. Like, yeah, it would be cool to have a cycle, but I was given an opportunity to go for 2, and I'm going to take that every single time.
He's just, for a 22-year-old, almost 23 in 9 days. There's just so much. It's hard to put into words. The maturity, just all he brings to this team that a 22-year-old shouldn't.
Baseball guys are always watching.
We saw last night, obviously it hits Aaron Judge in the hand, but we saw the quote unquote face of baseball throw a pity party and get upset and throw a tantrum and all this stuff. It's everyone's fault. It's not part of the game. He threw in on us. That's what they do. All this stuff. Gunnar just wants to play damn ball. Gunnar, if you told Gunnar that there would be no fans at any games, no one ever watches, like no one tunes in, nothing's on TV, he'd go out there and play the exact same day. Exact same way. Every single day. 162 times a year. That's why they have to force him out of the lineup. Because if they didn't, he wouldn't come out. He would walk up there, get pissed off at walk-in, and just produce every damn day. I don't say he produces every day because it's just given. It's just given. That's what he freaking does. I mean, talking about Gunnar Henderson playing baseball gets me freaking fired up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Everything he does, man. Everything he does, the way he plays the game, the way he carries himself, the way he looks adversity in the eyes. He wants to be up there, game on the line. Gets me fired up.
Yeah, I don't know how either of us follow that up, Rocco.
That was a mic drop moment, Zach. That needs to be clipped and just posted on X.
Jeez. Put some motivational music behind that. Man, you're cooking with something right there.
That's like following up the smart kid when you have to present a class project. You just don't want to do it. You know that your project isn't going to be as good as theirs. So you're just like, let me go tomorrow. So that's what we're going to do here.
Oh, that's a good question. When you were in school, did you like going first or last to presentations? I just wanted to get it over with. I just say, let me go first and get it over with.
Last.
Teachers sometimes used to incentivize us. If you went first, you'd get extra credit because they knew no one liked going up there first. They were like, if you come up here, you get like 10 extra points or something.
That's
like that.
Easy. Oh, that's easy.
Joey, I appreciate this. If Gunner's the only one with a better stash than me, without a day, with any day he can have that.
Your stash at first did not look great. Now it's starting to gain some traction. It's looking pretty good.
I know. Well, it's starting to actually grow out, like for a while.
Yeah. It was like
at first.
If the Orioles win the World Series, you shave it.
No, that's not. No, you got to do more than that.
I'm shaving it after this wedding. Like I have a wedding next week. Like that's the only reason
you could have beefed it up for drama, but you just ruined it.
I know. We got one of my best friends is getting married, so of course I'm going mustache. That's literally like I tweeted it out earlier today. I literally decided like a month ago I'm just gonna have the best mustache.
What is Stackhouse saying? Oh my god, that's so. Oh man.
Yeah, spicy Wooders. Tequila. Oh, you missed it. I took a tequila shot before we got on. As you got on.
Spicy water.
Live. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to, Kevin, before we get back on the vibes? Kyle Brash is done for the year.
Yeah, let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Kyle Brash is done for the year. Yeah, and actually, real fast, let's bring this up because I know Rip put out a thing on Twitter. So I do want to.
You're gonna play the video.
Yeah, it's short. So
yeah. While you're doing that, just gonna read off. Obviously, he's undergoing the. Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So here,
okay. It's not a surprise, but it's
let me full screen
it. All right, now the news is officially out. Kyle Bradish is done for the year, and it sucks. It's not a surprise, but it sucks. And look, I didn't get into this business to break news. It's just not my style, especially when it's not my news to break. But now that the information is out, I have a full breakdown with Yoni Rosenblatt, the owner of True Sports Physical Therapy, and everything you want to know about the UCL injury with Kyle Bradish. We discussed it earlier this week. So go check out that video. Let us know your thoughts. But the reality is he's done for the year. And the thing that hurts me is just I know how hard Kyle worked to get back. He's a grinder. He's a hell of a player, but he's a better person. He will be back stronger than ever. I guarantee you that. But right now it stings. But the only thing you can do now, Birdland, is keep moving forward. Positive vibes for Kyle. He'll be back. Get well soon. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Not great. So Mike Elias spoke to the media and ended up saying that Bradish did undergo the Tommy John elbow reconstruction. So he is obviously done for the season. And then on top of that, Danny Coulomb, who is sorry, Rocco. Danny Coulomb. Well, we can get to that at a later time. Danny Coulomb has surgery to remove bone chips from his elbow. That's usually Kyle Hamilton had the same surgery or similar. It's about a 6 to 8 week recovery time. So they're hoping he's back in September. Bradish had the surgery with Dr. Keith Meister, and he's that doctor who developed the hybrid procedure, so Tommy John, and then the internal brace, which is added in there.
Yeah.
But I believe it was the brace is there with the reconstruction surgery. So that's what Bradish ended up undergoing. So Coulomb will be back at some point. The Orioles are pretty confident in that, but Bradish obviously done for 2024 and uncertain when he'll return in 2025. So, man, just a brutal blow. We were talking a bunch about, projections for the Orioles. Okay, rotation this year. And we had it was Burns, it was Bradish, it was Rodriguez, it was Dean Kramer, it was John Means, and Tyler Wells being a big piece out of that bullpen. And now we're done with Bradish for the year. Unfortunately, Wells is out, Means is done, Bautista obviously lost for the season, and Kramer is working his way back, but he's missed time. Grayson has missed time. This has been a brutal year. I mean, Perez missed time. I could go on and on and on. It's been a brutal year and now Coulomb. So injuries with this pitching staff, guys. It is a tough break, and obviously this one hurts a lot for Orioles fans.
It sucks. Well, that's what it is. It sucks, Kevin. And I'm not going to say it sucks because we lost him for the year. Obviously, it sucks that we lost him for the year. But like Rip said, it sucks because we know how hard Bradish worked to get here. Like, he could have very easily over the offseason, as soon as the sprain in the UCL happened, said, hey, I am getting the surgery, put me under. I'll see you guys back in 2025. Good luck. But that's not what he did. He said, is there a chance I could get back to pitch? And they said, yeah, if you do the PRP shot, you go through this intensive rehab. You go through all this stuff. You literally start from ground zero, underhand tossing. And yeah, you may be able to pitch this year. Most likely you're having the surgery anyway. And Bradish didn't care. Bradish went out there because he wanted to go compete. He wanted to help this team win. And it sucks because he did exactly what he set out to do, and he returned to his dominant self. Kyle Bradish we saw against the White Sox. The Kyle Bradish we saw a few times this year. It's the Kyle Bradish we all know. That's the dominant Kyle Bradish. It didn't look like he was bothered at all. But we talked with Yoni over a month ago now, and we asked him about Bradish. We said, what is the deal with him? Is this something where now that he's back, it's all good? And Yoni said, no, this is, you hold your breath every pitch. This isn't a game to game. This isn't a week to week. This is a second to second injury. Like at any point, this thing could just stop. The UCL could get re-injured. And that's what sucks about it. That's what sucks about it is he worked his ass off to get back here to be the top end pitcher he is. And he achieved it. And then it's all obviously just kind of back to square one with him. So you hate it. But as Rip said, he's going to be back and better than ever. It's over now. Like his season's over, but he definitely doesn't want you to feel sorry for him. Like this team is still, the Orioles don't want you to feel sorry for them. This team's goal is still to win the World Series this year. That didn't change. They're not chalking it up going, oh, we've lost a lot of starting pitchers. Oh, Danny Coulomb's out. Oh, Felix Bautista's out. And we'll go get him next year. This team's going to be active at the deadline. This team's going to go for it. I'm telling you right now. And this just look out because the Orioles are going to have something up their sleeve.
I agree, man. And what did Yoni kind of compare it to? Was it him who said it was like a Band-Aid, basically, that PRP shot, or am I making that up? That's
No, it
so,
is. It's very.
So for normal people like you, me, and everyone in the chat, although all of you guys are extraordinary people, not just normal,
Appreciate you,
with a
Rocco.
Band-Aid, you think about it. I just want to put this into normal people terms. Band-Aids wear and tear. After a while, you need to put on another one, but it's not going to last forever. And that's how you kind of look at that PRP shot. And when Bradish was touching, 98, 99 miles per hour, the hardest he's thrown this season by far against the Phillies, and then he came out after 74 pitches, the writing was unfortunately on the wall. It was. And listening to Dean Kramer, I know he's dealing with an IL stint of his own. He's looking to get back from that triceps injury, making another rehab start, and hopefully he'll be back sooner than later. But he did kind of allude to the next man up mentality, even with Bradish and me. Like when it was before the season, it was Bradish and Means. They knew they weren't going to start the season with him. And the question to him was, what's kind of the confidence level? Like everyone on the outside's talking about, okay, the O's need to get another starting pitcher. They need another arm. Aside from Corbin Burns, like aside from the guy you just got as the ace, then you're looking at like, okay, what's the deal? Do you guys need one, or are you confident in the guys you have? And obviously, I think many baseball players are going to say we're confident in the group we have. That's just going to be their answer. They're not going to say, oh yeah, we definitely need someone else. But I truly think that this team believed they had what it took, and they still have what it takes to get through a 162 game season with the staff and the rotation they currently have. Guys have stepped up. Cole Irvin, from being, that roller coaster of a season last year where he starts, makes a few starts, goes down, comes back in the bullpen later on in the season. There were questions about, okay, where's Cole Irvin going to fit this year in the starting rotation or the bullpen? What's going to happen with him? He's supposed to be an innings eater when he came over from the A's. He wasn't in 2023. He's been an innings eater this year. He's been fantastic. And he's gone from, okay, we're going to start you. Okay, we're going to move you to the bullpen for a little bit. Okay, now we need you back in the rotation. Albert Suarez, I've said this so many times, and you guys have as well. He is one of the best stories in baseball this season. And I know he didn't have his best outing against the Yankees in Game 1. But just think about what this guy's done this season. He went from not pitching in Major League Baseball in a game since 2017. He's 34 years old. He comes back. First of all, he makes his first start of the season on short notice when Tyler Wells was sent to the IL. I remember being with you, Zach, Rip, and Brad at Camden Yards, and we're like, oh, man, Tyler Wells just got put on the IL. What's going to happen? They gave Albert Suarez a call. They got him up in Baltimore. Short notice, he made the start the next day. Then he goes from starting to, hey, Albert, we need you to go to the bullpen. We need you to be a potential long reliever for us while we get some guys back. Albert, I'm sure, said, okay, I want to do whatever I can to help this team win. Goes to the bullpen. Then he gets brought back to the starting rotation. That guy has been asked to, he's done whatever he's been asked to do. And you can't ask for more with that guy. 34 years old to come in and do that. Great story in baseball. So it's really awesome to see. And he is a guy, I know this fan base has really gotten behind this season, and they love what he's doing out there. But I agree with you, Zach. They are going to have something up their sleeve at the deadline. They have to. Because you think as a baseball fan, okay, we'll get him next season. Okay, the O's will be back. Okay, this is going to happen. You know how hard that is to do in Major League Baseball when it's as competitive as it is? It's not, not to knock the NBA, but it's not where you see the same teams mostly. I know it doesn't happen every single year in the Eastern Conference Finals or the Western Conference Finals where you got, all right, the superstars are here. It is so spread out. There's so much talent across baseball. And you look at it, it's not as easy as many people think. It's not just as simple as, okay, we'll get him next year. So I'm thinking the Orioles think that they're going to go all in this season. They're going to try to win as many games as possible and win a World Series. The goal hasn't changed. Sorry for rambling.
No, because you nailed it. That's exactly what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to be back. How many teams have we seen they go on these runs? And hell, it looked like the Cubs, they got that one World Series. It looked like the Cubs were going to be a dynasty for a decade, and they never made it back.
Mm-hmm.
There are just so many examples of teams that you looked at and you're like, this team's going to win 5-6 championships over the next few years, and they don't make it back. Look at all the players, all the star-studded players on the Padres. They haven't gone to one. You see all these teams with all these stars. It doesn't mean anything. It's hard to win Major League Baseball. It's hard to win in the playoffs. It's one of the biggest crapshoots in all of sports. So, yeah, I think the Orioles still do something at the deadline. But let's bring up, before we head out here, we got to get the vibes back up, people. We got to get the vibes back up. So, final thoughts about the game. We got to end on these high notes. Orioles win. Actually, before we get into that real quick, the Mets lost.
No. You just talked about vibes being high, Zach. What is this?
No, but I just saw the update. They
my
did. It's the worst day of my life. The grimace. But you know what's crazy? Do you know why they lost? Booking it with Trent. It's the only play he had today was he said, let's see if the grimace curse can beat the booking with Trent curse, and he put all of his money on the Mets, and they finally lost.
Dude. Curse
terrible
for
night
curse.
in New York.
Yeah, curse for curse is crazy.
Yeah, to go curse.
Which curse is stronger?
Can we just bring up what Spirit Bomb just randomly said in the chat? Like, dude, what are you like? Dude, like, I saw that and you were like, I didn't hear a word you just said. Like, I know what happened, but I have ADD as it is, but that is hilarious. Why at 12:19 a.m. First of all, this late are you getting called handsome by old women? And second of all, to put that in the chat, that is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Beautiful comment.
I'll go anywhere from between 68 and 70, so I'll say 69.
Good one, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah, let's end it with some just high vibes from the Orioles. Another guy that went 2 for 5, just a very quiet 2 for 5, was Jorge Mateo. There were 5 players on the Orioles got 2+ hits. I shouldn't say 2+. 5 players on the Orioles got 2. The most someone had was 2. Orioles were 6 for 20 with men in scoring position. Runners in scoring position. Would have liked to see a few more. It felt like they couldn't take advantage of some opportunities. But man, the Orioles won. Tomorrow's the rubber match. Ain't that all we asked for?
What did I say yesterday? I showed up fashionably late to the stream. The Orioles might have showed up fashionably late to the series. They lose the first game. You know what? Win on Wednesday. Win on Thursday, and that is a pretty good series overall.
And actually, the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow going for a little history. We keep talking about this streak of the Orioles have not lost a division series in 21 attempts. So they are now 16-0-5 over the last 21. Tomorrow, we'll decide the 22nd. If the Orioles do it, they will break a 4-way tie and become the first team ever to go 22 straight division series without a loss, without losing the series. So
if Rip was here, he'd punch you in the face right now. He would absolutely, and I hope he's watching, for jinxing this team.
That's not what me bringing up a potential history thing. You bringing up to Cole Irvin that he has a scoreless streak is totally different than me saying the Orioles, giving context behind an Orioles streak they're on.
Still wrong. I think the chat would agree with me.
No, that is so different. That is so different than you physically telling Cole Irvin, hey, how's it feel to be on this scoreless streak?
If the Orioles don't win tomorrow, it's on you.
I'll accept that.
So you know,
well, Zach was the reason they won tonight, so he can be the reason.
Yeah, you missed that. Okay. I had to Rocco. I spent the entire 10th inning.
You should have seen the text I got.
What was it?
I could say it on the street.
Yeah, but I was like, let's just say my mind was racing.
I know. I know this. I'm the villain. of this show, and I'm fine with that. It is what it is.
It's
But I
different.
love you. But I love you all.
Yeah. Luis Hill has yet to give up a hit in tomorrow's game. Hope I don't drink it.
Oh, that is next level. You know what? If Gunnar hits
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
leadoff
have
homer,
to. I'm gonna start making just a bunch of Orioles lose thumbnails tomorrow.
no, if Gunnar hits a leadoff homer, we have to come back to this. We have to come back to this.
I feel like it's inevitable after today. Like, he's going to come out just cooking with something.
He might not ever finish rounding the bases if he hits a homer tomorrow. He might just stand on first and look at the pitcher.
That clap when he gets the home, when he does his,
yeah,
it's going to look like he jumped off a trampoline.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be unreal. He almost got a hold of the his last at bat. He almost got a hold of it. He barely missed right there. But yeah, all right. Let's kind of start wrapping it up here. I think we've talked about enough. Just an incredible night in Birdland. Orioles have the opportunity to bring it to what, a half game tomorrow? Is that correct?
Yep.
With a win, with a win would bring it to with a half game. How can you not be romantic about baseball, baby? How can you not be romantic about baseball? The Orioles, I'm looking at the wild card. They have a 9-game lead there. They actually have an 8-game lead on Minnesota, who's the second wild card. But the Orioles are good. As Ryan would say, the Orioles are fine. Let's let Rocco get his makeup off. The Orioles are fine. The Orioles are a damn good baseball team, and they're going to find a bunch of ways to win more times than they're going to lose. We are now, Orioles and Yankees are now tied in the loss column with 25. Tomorrow, 4:00, we will be quick. Actually, we forgot to say this quick little, I guess, what's it called? Rocco. Content update, program update for tomorrow. We will not be doing the post game because we will be doing immediately after the game goes. We're just going to hop into our show, and we have a pretty cool guest coming on tomorrow. So you guys are going to want to tune in for that. Knows a lot of ball.
I don't know who that is. I didn't check Discord. Can you send it again? It's been a long week.
Oh, speaking of Discord, I think I've taken a long enough break for my Discord link punishment. So let's let me put the link, the right link.
I don't know why this was just put up here, but I'm keeping it while you talk. This is just going to stay.
Because I put out Random Raven a week. Well, maybe this wasn't because of that, but I put out a Random Raven.
Yeah, no, I quoted it.
I just thought that Spirit Bomb was on a legendary heater in the comment section tonight.
In Washington,
dropping just like random names and random thoughts. Hilarious.
All right. If you want to join our Discord, the Ryan Rip Show Discord, I put the link, the right link in the description. Correct link in the description. So you can join our Discord if you want to be. We have live Orioles watch-alongs in there, a ton of chats, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, overall Baltimore sports, and a lot more. You can chat with our community. We put announcements and updates in there so you can be on top of everything we post. And that's just a really fun community. So if you want to get in on that, we're almost actually at 200 total members for that Discord, which is incredible. So we've really been able to grow that. And it's been really exciting. We're trying to find the exact number of members quick.
Did you guys see the Orioles post game, the video that they posted, the caption of the final out, and they captioned it "The Power of Friendship"? Have you seen that?
No, but I saw their graphic was up and win for up and in.
Yeah, up and win. But so
pretty much there we go. Posted the right link in Discord. I did it. Let's go. Someone just joined.
Dude, that was hilarious when
you do not understand. I've never been so stressed in my entire life.
You should see. I've never seen Kevin freak out like that. Kevin was
I freaked out.
Dude,
it was my family and
the longest 9 minutes of my life.
I'm like, why is this person? It was like called Funky Taco or something like that. Join the stream. I'm like, I texted Brad immediately. I was like, dude, do you know who this is? And I was
No.
like, and then you're like,
Well,
Ryan,
after 2 minutes, Zach and I figured out how to like remove him, but Brad wasn't. We didn't have permission, and Brad wasn't looking at his chat.
dude, that was
So-
hilarious.
I literally, Kevin is sitting next to me, and he just keeps doing. Like,
And
he was
Ryan is
like-
trying to have a conversation with the guest, and I'm just freaking out.
Oh
like
my
he was looking at
gosh.
Brian, he'd be like, Brad.
I texted Brad. I texted Rip. I was like, who is this? And Brad's like, I have no clue. We thought it was like someone you guys knew, or like,
No.
I don't know. That was madness.
What a time. What a day. All right. I think that does it for you guys. Got anything else you need to say before we head out of here?
Be sure to like and subscribe over here. Again, this show might be migrating to a new channel in the coming weeks, so still be a part of Round Rip Media, but that'll be exciting. But for the main show, Monday and Thursday, we just put out a bunch of videos: Jackson Holiday injury update, Kyle Bradish injury update, and what the future holds for him. And yeah, we do this live Mondays and Thursdays in studio, and obviously we're live every Orioles game as well. Although tomorrow we're going to merge the two, so it's going to be our post-game show live from the studio with the rest of the big show. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And yeah, that's what I got.
Just got one last thing before we go. And obviously, like just to add on to that, Kev, be sure to give us all a follow on social media. Brad is Own the Chaos, correct? Ryan's Ryan Ripken. KO Striker, Oz Striker 34, and Zach Bollinger 18. And then I'm at Rocker
Bonder
DeSandro.
18.
So we roast each other. We have a good time, put out videos. Ryan's breakdowns are fantastic. I don't like to say nice things about him, but they're off the charts, unbelievable. And his baseball knowledge is just next level. So follow along with that. Check it out. And yeah, continue to enjoy it. We really appreciate you guys tuning in, honestly, every night that we do this and every show we do, because without you guys, this show isn't as entertaining as it is. Except you, Joe. You can, like I said, I wish you didn't tune in, but here we are.
Wow! Oh my God! I wish
Just
you
kidding.
tuned in. I wish you tuned in, Joe.
I love Joe. He knows.
All right. We're ending it the same way we started, baby. Thank you for coming to another edition of the Post Game Breakdown. For everyone, I'm Zach Bonder with Kevin Ostreicher and Rocco DeSandro. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of the Ryan Ripken Show. Yankees lose. Da, 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 da. Yankees lose.